Today I wish to talk to you about expressing yourselves on serious issues and writing to Prime Minister. Prime Minister in India is the highest authority. And you have to ponder three things. Number one, what are the issues that come under the jurisdiction of Prime Minister in which he can intervene? Number two, you have to do proper homework. Formulate your problem with proper context and facts. And number three, be very modest in your expression and be to the point. For instance, and this I want that all children going to high school or college should be able to express themselves. In India, there is hardly any channel for girls to express themselves. And for boys, there are some channels available, but very, very few. So a sincere student should be able to express herself or himself in clear terms. I'll consider two examples. Suppose I want to write to Prime Minister about access to education. And second issue I will raise is the question of fear. Regarding one, the education issue, I would like to say the following things. For instance, 70% of India's population lives in the villages. However, the number of students going to college from rural areas is much, much less than this number, maybe 20%. Now, what are the reasons for this? There are three reasons for this. Number one, that the people in the villages, cannot afford to send their children to live in the city because they are poor. Then tuition is another issue because they cannot pay high tuition. And third, even if they want to commute from the village to the city, transport is not available. So we would like to recommend to suggest to the Prime Minister and Education Minister that kindly arrange all colleges should have bus facility to pick children from rural areas. Number two, that fees in colleges should be modest, that is affordable by children from rural areas. Number three, in admissions also, there should be a deprivation point policy as was adopted by universities like JNU earlier, that children coming from deprived or disadvantageous locations or families or backgrounds, they should have some compensation or deprivation point in admissions and so on. So this is the kind of issues I would like you to raise when you write access to education, so that education is available for children. Regarding fear, I would suggest that there are many kinds of fear. But the one that I want to refer to Prime Minister is the fear of two kinds. Number one, in the environment where you live, if there are prejudices of religion or caste or gender, then one will feel humiliated and scared. So these prejudices should not be there. Unfortunately, you can point out many instances where even the Prime Minister himself or the ministers or the leaders or the business class or the media is propagating prejudice. So you have to point out with humility that this should stop. Second is in the system. There are two kinds of crimes going on in the country. Crimes by criminals, and if you brand criminal according to religion, that one brand of criminals will be protected, another brand of criminals will be punished. This kind of discrimination is unfair. And also, you can suggest that in police also, in armed forces also, if this prejudice percolates, and which unfortunately is there, then fear will grow. So if we want a society where nobody is scared, one can walk with keeping his head or her head high, then the Prime Minister and his entire administration must be careful and must be objective, non-discriminatory. And these are the kind of issues we should tell the Prime Minister. And I want all my children who are above 8th grade that they should ponder over such issues and should be able to express themselves. Thank you.